In this segment, we're going to take a look at the Click to Stitch tool, and that's found here on the left-hand side of your workspace on the Design toolbar. And again, it's gray, and that's because, first of all, we need to have an image on our screen, and we also need to have that image prepared for automatic embroidery, and I'll show you what I mean. So to get started, I'm going to choose Image and Insert Image. And I'll just go ahead and choose something like this butterfly and say OK or Open. Now, even though I have an image on my screen and that image is selected, the Click to Stitch tool does not yet work. The Click to Design tool will, because that's the one-step automatic digitizing tool. But to be able to use the semi-automatic Click to Stitch tool, we first need to run the image preparation step. And there's two tools down here. One is called image preparation, and one is called outlined image preparation. And they're very similar tools. The image preparation tool is the better tool for images like this with nice, solid colors. And I'll go ahead and use that now. So basically, the image has 5 colors in it, and the software is seeing the 5 colors. So we could reduce that to be 4 colors, and it would take one of the colors out, or 3 colors, or whatever. But in this case, I don't need to reduce it. I just simply want it to recognize all of the colors. That's basically what the image preparation step does. The software recognizes all of the colors and prepares itself for the automatic digitizing. So I'm going to let it do this image preparation step. Say OK. Now, as soon as I ran that image preparation step, now you'll notice that the Click to Stitch tool has become available. And this Click to Stitch tool has a triangle to fly it open. And if I click on that triangle, you'll see the options. So the first option is Click to Parallel Weave Fill. Then we have Click to Parallel Weave Fill without holes. We have Click to Turning Angle Satin Fill, Click to Center Line, Click to Outline, and this last one is called Match to Palette. Now, I'll just go ahead and choose this Click to Parallel Weave Fill option. And when I come over, it gives me a "you can't do this" option until I get over top of the image, in which point the big sort of strikeout goes away. See, strikeout, no, you can't click to stitch on the background, but over the image, you can. Now, I guess maybe if I zoom in a little more closely, it would be nice. So for example, if I click on an area of the design, it fills it in with thread. Now notice the color is red. And that's because Match to Palette is turned off. So for example, this option here, Match to Palette. If I turn Match to Palette on, and now if I click on an area, maybe I'll click on this area here, it fills it in and it matches the color to the embroidery. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, but there are other tool options. So for example, this was Click to Parallel Weave Fill. This is Click to Parallel Weave Fill without holes. So for example, if I use this tool and I click on this side over here, notice that it puts thread behind. See here, it left a hole for the circle that has not been stitched yet. In this case, it filled it in. Same thing here, filled it in. Now, if I was to zoom in a little more closely, I could click on top, and look, it just puts that fill right over top. So that's your ability to right now, I'm basically choosing things like the sewing order, because as you can see here, as I build this design, whatever I click on is what sews first, and whatever I click on second is what sews next. And so I'm able to choose the sewing order based on what I click on. I'm able to choose the type of stitch that we get, whether that be a weave fill, or for example, if I choose Click to Turning Angle Satin Fill, and I'll zoom in, if I click on these circles, I get satin fills, versus with the other tool, I got weave fills. And same thing right here. If I click on this, it'll fill that in with a satin fill, or I click on these little objects, same idea. Some of the other options in this tool are click to center line. And so let's see if I can find a good example of using this. Well, we could try maybe just as an example, I don't know that it seems appropriate. If I click on this area, it'll put a single run line down the center of it. So, obviously that's not the type of image that you might want to put a line. Well, you could put a line down the middle, but what would be the point? I guess maybe this black would be more appropriate. See how it just did a single run line, and it basically did all of that black color down the center. As opposed to the next tool option beside it was click to outline, and in this case, if I click on an area, like for example the bottom of this butterfly wing, it puts a run stitch outline around that shape. So this tool here is also semi-automatic because we don't have to digitize the shapes. We can simply click on the shapes, and the software automatically converts those shapes into embroidery. But we do have the ability to choose in the click to stitch option anyways from these different tool options. So there's click to parallel weave fill with no holes, with holes, and then click to parallel weave fill without holes, and you have click to turning angle satin fill, click to centerline, click to outline, and match to palette. And when you look at the color list here, or the design object list, you can see the difference between the objects that I clicked on with parallel weave fill. I've got a weave fill and it's got a parallel tool, versus the ones where I clicked on turning angle satin fill, where I've got a turning angle satin fill tool with satin stitch objects. So yeah, you have a little bit more control using the click to stitch tool to make your embroidery designs versus the fully automatic click to design mode. Now, what I didn't touch on was the other image preparation method. And basically, I'm just going to start a new window here and grab another piece of artwork to work with. So, for example, I'll just grab something like this. Now, basically, because I have reasonably good artwork, all of the artwork that came with Embroidery Gallery is nice, clean clip art. But imagine if you had a design like this, but instead of being clip art, it was something that somebody had drawn. And so the lines, the outlines may not have been really nice and clear, or they may be a little bit fuzzy. That's where using this outline image preparation tool can work better. And when you use the outline image preparation tool, you have a bit of a slider. And basically, when you slide it, it will recognize sort of more colors or less colors based upon the way that you approach it. I guess it's more about how it's going to affect the outlines, because it'll still see the colors, but how much of that outline will it see? And what I found is that when you have fuzzy outlines, that you're able to slide the area here, and basically it recognizes more and more and more of the black, and to the point where it'll start filling in your areas with black if you get it too far slid over. And like I said, this isn't the type of artwork that is fully appropriate for use with that outlined image preparation method. But certainly if you have something that's been hand drawn and scanned in, if you have fuzzy outlines, you'll find that the outlined image preparation tool will be a great choice to use for helping to clean up the outlines and give the software something that it can easily understand. So yeah, that's a little bit more about using the image preparation tools and the click to stitch or click to outline tools.